Welcome back to Thailand ChitChat. As ever, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Today, our guest is the CEO of Tall Emu, Michael Nash. The business operates out of Sydney, and he's looking to expand the business into this region. So I thought it was an interesting opportunity to see his outtake on what's happening here. So first of all, this is Mike.
Yes, good. Mike. Michael is my policeman name, or when I've done something wrong and my mum's yelling at me. So just reserve that for in case things go wrong. Mike is definitely what I prefer.
Okay, so you're over here just now in Thailand, and you're looking to sort of expand the business. Yeah,
that's right.
So maybe you can give a little bit of background of what Tall Emu is. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So Tall Emu is, I guess, it's an alternative system for businesses that are looking to expand but don't want to go and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on an ERP platform. So if you think about most small businesses today, they're using, say, Xero or MYOB, a whole bucket load of Excel spreadsheets, pen, paper, grey matter, and maybe their iPhone or something like that. And so the processes get disjointed, paper-based. The next step into an ERP is a very, very significant financial step. So the idea of Tall Emu is that what we'll do is we'll leave you with the accounting system you have, your Xero or your MYOB, but then we provide all of this add-on functionality similar to an ERP, but much easier to use. And it's quicker to implement because you're not replacing your existing accounting software. You don't have to retrain your accounting staff, get new accountants that know the accounting software. So we take care of the business operations.
Okay, but you integrate between the two. Yeah?
Correct.
So with the Tall Emu, it's called Tall Emu CRM, which you could say, as I would probably describe it, Tall Emu CRM plus mini ERP.
Yeah, exactly.
CRM is customer relationship management, and ERP is enterprise
resource planning.
Yeah. Okay. So I get mixed up. As well. But anyway, I know what an ERP is in my mind. Anyway, so it allows you to run your operations. Things like you can do purchase orders, you do the CRM side, customer management, you can manage all the credit, etc. So it's an extension of a simple system like Xero or MYOB. So it allows you to do an awful lot more and control the business.
Yeah. So,
and marketing as well.
Yeah. So the easiest way of thinking about it is if you have, say, MYOB running your business right now as your accounting software, the process that you'll probably use is you'll get leads coming in via your website. That'll send an email to your inbox. If you process an order, chances are you make a sales order in MYOB, you print it out, you pop it in a tray, somebody comes by, picks it up, picks, packs, ships, scribbles all over it, and then there's another manual process to go and convert that to an invoice and email to the customer. And so what we do is, those processes are quite well defined inside accounting software. They're standard accounting sort of business processes that you follow. What we do is we're just digitizing them. So we're saying, okay, your leads come into the system, they're captured inside Tall Emu. You can do quotes in Tall Emu, you can send them via text message, have them paid online. Once the quote's accepted, we then deal with the fulfillment part. So we can convert to a sales order. When the sales order is ready to go, instead of printing it out and handing it to somebody to pick, we just convert it electronically and now it's a shipment. And so the shipment's then picked and packed. And then instead of scribbling all over the sales order and bringing it back upstairs to be invoiced, as soon as the warehouse click the button to say, well, I've shipped that, the invoicing happens automatically. So it gets rid of all of the paper, all of the inefficiency, all of the double handling. That's a sort of a very light sort of surface view of what we do.
Okay. So anyone who's looking at investing in a system, the first thing you think is, one is the cost, obviously, which is always relative to what you're getting, which I think you get an awful lot from your system.
Yeah.
But also how easy it is to use as a system and its implementation.
Yeah.
So how do you manage that process? So cost
first.
So with regards to, if you compared it to SAP, so everyone will be, if you're into this kind of thing, SAP is probably for a lot larger companies and they're very, very expensive.
Yeah.
Your target market is probably small to medium-sized businesses where the impact of SAP and all the consulting, etc., attached to it is so much higher.
Yeah, look, something like an SAP or NetSuite or an Oracle Financial, sort of those big systems, they're hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, so I guess millions and millions of baht. They're big projects, there's migration, then you have to find the people that are familiar with them. So everyone knows Xero. You can find bookkeepers for Xero. There's a massive population of those around the world. You buy SAP or something like that, well, then you know that's a whole different kettle of fish. With the
and hardware as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't even know, to be honest, whether they're cloud-based versions of SAP or whether you've got to run it on your own.
Which you are cloud-based.
But we are cloud-based, yeah. So if we compare, like, it's an SAP or a big ERP platform, even if it's a cloud-based ERP, is like an old school like project where, you know, you'll need a project manager, there's a team, there's a migration, there's parallel running, and all of that is just massive expense. Now, Tall Emu, by comparison, is designed to be a lot lighter. So we're looking at customers where they've got maybe 3 or 4 people in the business, up to maybe, say, 30, 40, 50 people in the business actually using the software. So we can actually scale quite high in terms of our user count. But if you think that today, let's say you're running Xero. So today in Xero, you're doing quotes, you're doing invoicing, you're doing payments, you're doing bank recs, and everything else maybe you're doing on Excel spreadsheets. What we'll do is we'll connect Tall Emu to your Xero. And then tomorrow you're doing your quotes out of Tall Emu, you're doing your invoicing out of Tall Emu, your payments out of Tall Emu. You still do all of the accounting stuff inside
like
Xero.
Expenses and salaries and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't get into all of the payroll and all of that sort of side of the business. That's not where we shine. So we'll get you up and running on that. It's really, really fast. You know, you can be up and running in weeks. And then what we'll start to do is to roll out the extra features of the software. So for example, if you've decided, well, I've got all of these leads in an Excel spreadsheet that's being manually maintained, well, we'll start loading those into the CRM for you. And then we'll put web forms on your website, so your lead capture's sorted. Then we can connect your phone system, so you get phone pops coming up when people call, you know who's calling, the calls are logged. And maybe one of the reasons that you bought Tall Emu is you need to track batches or serials, which is something that neither MYOB or Xero do. So we don't necessarily need to teach you how to do that day one. You can just basically almost like flip over in a day, once you've been trained how to use the software, do everything almost as you were doing it the day before, and then we'll start to roll out the more advanced features rather than doing it all as a massive sort of big project where you've got to gather up everything in advance. And we find that's really effective just because it's so similar to what you're doing now with your MYOB or your Xero that it feels big and scary. We're moving on to a new system, but it's actually not that hard. And then once you've run it for a day or 2 days and the team have got that confidence then to say, well, this is working, this is actually easy. Then we go, right, now we're going to show you how serial tracking works. And it's exactly what you're doing now, except there's just this small change and we just need your serial numbers loaded in and here's how you do it. So it's very, very light on. Small business owners don't have the money or the time, probably more importantly, to go and do these massive projects. And that's exactly where we're sitting and exactly where we're aiming.
You can actually roll through. We use the system, by the way. Yeah. You can actually roll it out in a matter of days in the basic functions. Yeah. So basically, there's training. Also, something I found which was very interesting was the fact the support was very active, but the support from the help is extensive. I found that very, very interesting and very good. It was videos, clear instructions on how to do certain things, how to do stock transfers with multiple locations, and also with the e-commerce side. So with WooCommerce, you've got an integration. So anything you sell on your WooCommerce site comes in and it deducts the stock. Yeah,
exactly.
And probably the biggest thing is the fact you can customize things.
Yes.
Yeah. It costs you. Yeah. I'll tell you now, it costs you, but
not that much.
But if you want to customize things, so in many softwares, any software, if you want to customize something for a particular workflow or whatever it is, it's going to cost you huge amounts. Yeah? But in your case, and also many you can't because it's a locked-in system.
Yeah.
And then people turn around and say, oh, we're thinking of doing this, but it's going to take a year. It's on our plan. Yeah. But you can actually do it bespoke for a particular customer as well. Yeah. So I think that's why I'm doing the interview, because I'm interested in using it itself, and I've got lots of questions as well off camera. Yeah. But right, so how did it start?
Wow, well, many, many moons ago, when I was a lot younger, I had a couple of business partners, and we were running a software company that was doing custom software development. And what we found was that we were writing lots and lots of add-ons for other CRM softwares, so they didn't do the work. So back in the old days when I were a lad, the CRM sort of space, if you like, It was an add-on software. It didn't integrate to anything. And so you'd buy it and you'd say to your sales team, there you go, there's some CRM software, put your notes in that so I can keep an eye on you. And I don't think it's a surprise that most of those projects failed. And so the projects that we got involved in were the ones that went a little bit further, where the customer would buy CRM to track their sales process, but then they wanted to actively manage the sales process as well. So one example is we did some work for a telemarketing company selling wine, and they would call up customers and they would offer them wine. Now the CRM that they purchased couldn't do any of that. So we wrote add-ons to track the wine, the pricing, commission, dispatch, credit card payments, all of those different things. And what turns out to be the case for us is that we were doing, I guess, all of the really valuable work. This is the bit that the business couldn't run without. And then a CRM vendor that knew nothing about that customer's business would just be charging them an annual renewal for the software. And so after a while, we spoke about it and we thought, well, we should write our own. And so we did. That was back in 2007, 2008. And so we wrote a desktop ERP CRM platform, very, very customizable. And the idea was that it could be tailored to any business. It would link with MYOB. It would link with QuickBooks back then. And again, the same sort of concept of running your business without going and buying SAP. I guess one of the most heartbreaking and also motivating things that a customer has ever said to me, don't worry, it's clean, about CRM was we put in front of them, I think it was like a $40,000 project, including some customization. And many years later, I was talking to the customer over a beer when he was in Sydney, and I asked him about the time he was making the decision and what else was considered. And he said, well, look, SAP was going to cost me 350 grand, so I didn't mind rolling the dice for 30 with you. And I was like, okay, you're round, mate. But that's to sort of, show you've got this like big difference in cost and capability on our old desktop platform.
Yeah.
We then moved, we started in about 2017. We were a little slow and moving to the cloud because we had all of those customers on our desktop. But we then started to move into the cloud CRM. We had a very, very basic product. And what we've been doing since then is building it out so that it has the similar sort of capabilities as our old legacy desktop platform.
Right. So just now, your main market, you're based out of Sydney, yeah?
Correct.
And your main market is Australia, New Zealand, but you have already got clients here, yeah. In Thailand. And why do you want to expand that business into Asia?
Well, why wouldn't I? It's a product with global appeal. So we started off the business, we were selling in Australia. We did actually have customers in other countries, obviously yourself. We did get acquired by MYOB in 2022. And so for the last two and a half years, we were wholly owned and operated as part of MYOB in Australia. And MYOB in Australia only really runs in Australia and New Zealand. And so that was the market that we absolutely focused on. About 8 weeks ago, I bought the company back from MYOB. We're still friends. We still work with MYOB. We don't go to the Christmas party anymore because we're not owned by them. But, we will still send them a card or something. It's all a very amicable separation. But now that we're out of MYOB, I took the business back. I'm in control, and I guess I can resume my original path. And so, because of the technology that we're using Azure, which, if you're not familiar, it's like Amazon AWS. We've got the servers all over the world you can use. And so, if we want to go and base a server out of Singapore to meet with data sovereignty requirements, it's you do it with a click. We could put servers in America, in Europe, in India. The software we've already tested many years ago prior to the acquisition is easy to convert to different languages. So the business problems that I've seen in my very long career, I've worked with customers in London, Singapore, Thailand, obviously. I think one in the Philippines at one point, Australia, New Zealand, UK, France, Switzerland. We had an office there at one point too with my last company. The problems that businesses face are really the same. You're a small business, you're starting up, and you go to your accountant, you buy some accounting software, and you think, that's what runs my business. But it's actually not. That's what deals with your compliance. The bit that runs your business normally is the Excel spreadsheets, your salesperson, your iPhone, your Outlook, your Gmail. And by sort of pulling all of that together into a sort of an end-to-end, I hate to use that sort of like cliche, but the sort of end-to-end business process going while we're on a roll, one shape, pane of glass view of the data. But that's what we're doing. So initial web form coming in, through to sale, invoice, credit card payments with Stripe, eWay, delivery, dispatch, pick, pack, ship, all of those processes that are normally done on paper, right the way through to ticketing and customer service at the end. And, and you made it clear that you use Tall Emu. We use Tall Emu too. So when you go to our website and you fill in a lead, it goes into our sales management system, our opportunity system. Our salespeople follow it up using templates and handwritten emails. And if you call the office, we get call pop-ups saying who you are. If you're in the database, your invoices come from Tall Emu. Your automated subscriptions get managed in Tall Emu. And we all link all of that to our Xero accounting system at the end of the day.
And also you get multiple location as well. So one of the people in Thailand, they got multiple locations, so they can actually transfer stock within the system, to locations. So they can manage that consignment base, sets of products, etc. This is not the place to go into all the detail, but I was impressed for my businesses, for what it can do. Hence, you're here. Yeah.
Well, the whole software has been built on customer feedback, right? So if you think that my background specifically has been in custom software development, so people came to me when they had problems that they needed to solve, that software that was existing that they could find didn't solve it. And so it's the same kind of thing with Tall Emu. I'm using Xero, but I've got multi-location. What do? We use Tall Emu because we support it even with Xero.
You can link it with your email as well. So there's an email, you can attach that email so you can see that history. So if you use an Outlook, you can manage that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So Asia, you think is a great opportunity. I mean, you're a fair-sized company already. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not as if you're new and need the experience, and you've got customers in Thailand. Yeah. But within Asia, you think there's a great opportunity? Because you can do the language side. It can be in Thai because we use it in Thai language. Yeah.
No, I think so. Look, I mean, this software can be sold all over the world, and I guess what we focused on first of all was getting it right in our own backyard. First of all, you got time zone concerns even in Australia with Western Australia being some hours behind. New Zealand, we've got a time zone difference there, so we're sort of getting used to providing support in a longer operating window and dealing with those customers. When it comes to where next, well, we've worked together now for a number of years. We already have some existing customers in Thailand. There's reference sites. We've got people in Thailand who are familiar with the software. We can get the translation done. We can have local representation. You are a 8.5, 9-hour flight away, which is a little bit hard, but you're certainly within range to come and visit. And then once we're here, it's like the gateway to the rest of Asia.
Right, and so you've got also through WCT, you've got local support here to provide that in real time, which is great because even that part is, you think about even Perth. Yeah, Perth is a 1 hour difference as well. Yeah, okay, you're based out in Sydney. Yeah. So there's basically to support that in the region. The support is here.
Yes, exactly.
Basically, so for the implementation. Okay, so how have you found your trip in Thailand so far? You haven't had much time, it's all business.
That's all work.
First impressions? You've been here before, yeah?
I've only ever flown through Bangkok before.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I've been through the airport many, many, many times, but I've never got out before. It's really interesting. It's actually, I always used to love traveling in my younger days when I was running my prior business. I just got to travel all over the world. And in Tall Emu, I didn't really get that chance with our domestic focus, I guess. So it was really nice to sort of get over here, get out and get into a taxi and then just be in a completely different environment. I've seen the back of a lot of taxis or a lot of Grab cars. I've seen the hotel a fair bit. I've been here a few times. It's a really interesting place. And when we went and had a little wander around yesterday, and my wife and I wandered around and had a look. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but she said she likes it here. I like it here, and we've spoken with you even just yesterday about, what could we do to sort of solidify our presence here. It's just a great place to visit. Everyone's friendly.
Because most people when they come here, they either love it or they hate it. And the traffic, like when we went out before, we were walking up the pavements. There's no pavement. You got the small size. Once you've been here, you ignore the fact there's something coming behind you. Whereas you're probably going, there's a motorcycle coming up behind me. Sort of thing. So it's got a sort of a love-hate relationship. I mean, obviously I've been here 37 years, so wow. I just love it. It's home.
Yeah, of course.
So Anyway, listen, it was great having a chat with you. great to hear what's going on, where you're going with it, that we're going to have, you're going to expand, etc., into Asia. Yeah, if anyone is looking to find out more about it, you can go to the WCT.com website, WCTCOLTD.com website. And of course, you can go to the Tall Emu CRM.com website, which is based out of Australia. And yeah, we'll take it from there. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
All right. If you've got any questions, please put them in the comments. Any other ideas? Just thought normally we're doing something in Pattaya or Hua Hin. Yeah, it seems to be quite repetitive. I want to do something a little bit different. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this. We'll have other interviews coming up as and when there are decent interviews and things that you can actually get something from. Yeah. And please subscribe. Speak to you later. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.